What up, guys? Alex here. Just put the Z off the lift. It's back over in its little corner. Had to recently replace or upgrade the drive shaft on it, the rear sway bar, and get an alignment done on the car because it kind of chewed up some tires prematurely. So still got to clean up the bench over there, and you can see the supercharger from the Xterra video is still chilling over there, so I need to put those away. I'll get to the Xterra later. But now that I'm done with the Z, one might ask what else am I going to be working on right now. I mentioned a few videos ago I had a cool project coming inbound, and it got delayed a little bit, but it's here, and it's something I'm very excited to work on. So let's go ahead and turn the camera over to this beast. Check this thing out. This is a 1983 right-hand drive Z31 turbo. This has the VG30 ET in it. So no, it doesn't have the RB20 or the VG20. It has the typical VG30 ET. But yeah, this is a NISMO Z31 rally car. It's a replica of the original, but the previous owner who did it in Japan did an outstanding job. It looks great. This was actually highlighted in a few articles or printouts, newsletters or whatnot in Japan. So even though it's a replica, it's actually pretty famous in Japan. And actually, I mean, check that out. Just looking at the wide body I have in this car, it looks like I have some kind of like museum going on in here. This is pretty cool looking. But yeah, the car is... it's old. It's an 83, and if you knew or don't know, in Japan, the Z31 came out in Japan a year before the U.S. So this is an 83. In the U.S., they came out in 84. So it's pretty cool. I've never seen an 83 before. I've seen a very, very, very early 84 pace car that I worked on, and that was a very early car. But this one's actually a little earlier than that one. So let's take a quick look at it before we could talk about what we got going on with it. So like I said, right-hand drive. It's got some cool vintage bucket Recaro seats that's definitely worn. Got some character, got some age to it. The roll cage was done fabtabulously. I mean, look at that. It is up tall, it's up tight, and it passed inspection in Japan. I assume it will here in the States as well. And it's cool. So the customer installed a few things on his own before he delivered it to me. Yep, it's got a huge... CarPlay, Android Auto CarPlay stereo, and he wanted that for GPS purposes while he's doing some rally racing that he will be partaking in vintage class style rally racing. So that's pretty cool. He's going to take this on. That's awesome. Got a mount over there for tablet or instrumentation purposes. In his glove box, which you can see is unmounted. I need to fix the latch on it, but there's got some other equipment in there that he's mounted. He's done a lot of wiring himself, which he did an outstanding job. Let's take a look. Got some relays back there, some distribution blocks and whatnot for all of his lighting accessories and radio accessories. So he did a really good job getting the car wired. But, I mean, check out that shift knob. That's a really cool... I've seen pictures of these. I've never seen one in person. It's a NISMO weighted shift knob. Very old school, very vintage. It's awesome. But yeah, very excited to work on this. And I guess let's talk about what I will be doing to the car and why it's here. So beyond the fact that it has, mileage, I think it has 113 kilometers to it, not miles, but 113 kilometers, 113,000 that is. The car needs a 120K service on the VG30 ET. He doesn't have a record of when it was last done. So I need to go through and get all that done. So including in that will be a thermostat, water pump, cam seals, pump seal, alternator, just everything up front that needs to get done. He wants the AC working because some of these rally racing events are going to be long drawn out. So he kind of wants to be in, climate controlled environment. So we're going to do our best to get that working. I think it does work, but it's blowing heat out of the defroster vents because of obvious vacuum issues, which are common to this car. And he also wants cruise control working because of the, what I just said. Got some vacuum issues. So we'll get that fixed up and see if we can get things working again. But he also wants the radiator replaced. So we'll put a Champion 3-core radiator in there. It's probably overkill, but at that point you're already there. Why not? You just get the car running cool as best as possible. So, okay, so I'm doing a 120K. Anyone can really do that at a, decent mechanic shop. But why is it really here? Well, with what he wants to do with the car in his vintage style racing, he wants to have a real 6-speed transmission with a double overdrive transmission. And I think through his searching and researching of the car and his goals with the car, that's how he probably came across me. Because in my 89 with its VG33 and the wide body with its VK56, both of these cars had the Tremec Magnum. And then that has the double overdrive transmission with the great ratios. That way you can get up high and cruise really nicely with those ratios. So that's what we'll be doing. So check it out. We've got a brand new Tremec Magnum. I haven't even opened it yet. Still in the box. And there's the bell housing that Merlin Machining made. It's a VG33 automatic bell housing, and you can tell it's a single overhead cam because of the starter provisioning there. This is the slave cylinder that I run in these, but it's an automatic because you can see the bolt pattern for the automatic bell housings, and that's what he runs. That's what Merlin does with his adapter plates that he machines. He has to have the automatic for the simplicity of that bolt pattern design. So this is going to work out in our Z31 here. So very cool. It'll work out just great. We got Mega Squirt here. Mega Squirt 3 gold box by Felix at Hamilton. Got a custom Z31 made harness. Very cool, very exciting. And we got some bushings there. Those are not Z31 bushings. Those are S13 bushings. So you guessed it, we're going to put an S13 subframe in the car. He wants the better, rear handling and rear suspension and anti-squat properties. So we're going to put that in the car. And the diff that we're going to put in is a 370Z VLSD with a 3.69 ratio. This particular diff came out of a NISMO 370. I think it was like a 2020, 2019, with only 23,000 miles in it. Very low mileage diff, so he's excited for that. And with the axles there being the 6x1 configuration axles, we're going to put the Z32 twin turbo and the Q45 axle combination in this S13 subframe. I do have the S13 subframe. It's on the side of the shop. Got the axles in the shed. Got everything that we need to do out in the shed. So we have majority of the parts here. There's some tidbits that we need to order, like the clutch, for example. We need to get that clutch ordered. And we're going to go with a custom spec clutch that will have, the Z31 flywheel pattern, which is cool. And then the GM style disc, spline disc there. So this is going to work out great. For power, we got Mega Squirt there. So why would we name Mega Squirt if we're going to run the stock turbo? We're not. We're going to go to a Precision 6262 dual ball bearing CEA billet wheel turbo. I think it's there on their Gen 2 or Gen 3, whatever the latest Precision is doing. And with that, we're going to do a front mount intercooler, bigger injectors, of course, and the typical aftermarket, Mega Squirt setup for everything else, coil packs, this, that, and the other. So he's pretty excited about this. His goals are between 4 and 450 horsepower. He cannot exceed 450 horsepower in this class. If he goes any higher, he'll be disqualified. So we have to be within 400 and 450. So my goal is to be, 425. That's where I want to land him. So we'll get there. We'll get it done. But my concern right out of the box here is he has a tight deadline to get this car on the track. We have a race day, I think, in 20 days. Or less than 20 days, and he needs to get this prepped and ready to go, and he needs some seat time to build trust with the car and work out any kinks. So mechanically, I probably realistically have about 2 weeks to get the transmission subframe swap done, engine 120K kit. The one thing that may not get done in time is that turbo and Mega Squirt install. It's just simply because that stuff takes time. So I think what will probably happen is he's going to go off with his 6-speed, the subframe swap, get all that, dialed in, and he'll be happy with that. And then he'll come back after that race, drop it back off, and then we'll do Mega Squirt, and we'll get the Precision turbo installed and get it turned up for his next race event after that. So that's just, it is what it is. He ran out of time. So, but we'll try our best. Maybe I get the subframe swap and clutch done really quick, and then I might have time for the Precision turbo, but we'll see. I can't really, bank on overcommitting on this car within that short amount of time frame. Failed to mention the back here, we got some stance coilovers still taped, still sealed in the box. So we're going to put some stance coilovers on there. There's the 120K kit from Nissan, all OEM parts. But yeah, this is going to be quite a fun project. Pretty excited. It's so cool. Look at that wide body. Got the vintage style rally car behind it. We're going to get some side-by-side shots. This is really cool. And I'm not quite sure what brakes we're going to put on it. Bare minimum, we'll probably do Z32 brakes. If we can get away with the 350Z Brembos, we will. There is a requirement of wheels that you have to run. I think the factory size wheels are 1 inch. I can't remember. So these are 15-inch BBSs. He might be able to run a 16-inch BBS. And I think you can run 350Z Brembos with a 16-inch wheel. It'll be tight, but we might be able to get away with that. But we'll see. We'll see. But for starters, we might have to do the Z32 calipers. So, but yeah, I mean, this is really interesting. This is really cool. This is right up my alley with the stuff I do. And so he's pretty pumped. He's pretty pumped to get this done. And then we're going to have some badass rally racing video, you know, some footage of this car and video of the whole event. So, yeah, I don't know, guys. What do you think? What's your opinion on this beast? Is it cool that we're going to put a 6-speed manual transmission and an S13 subframe swap on this type of car, a rally car, given the fact that it's just a replica, it's not the real one? Or is it, you know, is it just, you know, blasphemy that he's putting a different drivetrain and whatever else in this older, you know, rally-inspired car? What are your thoughts? Drop a comment below. But otherwise, guys, I'm going to get started. Let me know your thoughts and what you think about the car. But as always, you know, like and subscribe, comment away, and get other people inspired to watch these videos. I'm trying to pump them out as much as I can with cool content like this, but try to get this channel growing. Help me out, guys. Anyway, I'll let you guys get back to it. I'm going to get started on this car, and we'll talk later. Take care.